Assalamu alaikum and hello everyone. Welcome to Mathematics with Shahab Yaqub. So now in this particular video, we are focusing on this question which is of May-June 2010, variant 61. This is question number 7. The question is about Peter taking part in a TV quiz show, and according to some rules and regulation, he will be answering the questions. So let's get started and let's grab your highlighter. Now, first of all, it's about Peter. Peter is answering question one after the other, stopping as soon as the question is answered wrongly. That means no further chance will be given. Now, there are three options over here. The first one, the probability that Peter gives the correct answer himself to any question is 0.7. And let me also underline himself. The second one, the probability that Peter gives a wrong answer himself to any question is 0.1. And the last one, the probability that Peter decides to ask for help for any question is 0.2. So basically, if I highlight the stuff, so this is the last line, that is Peter asks for help. And then the middle one, that is the green line, Peter answers wrongly. And then Peter answers correctly, that is the first one. So now if I carry on, it says on the first occasion that Peter decides to ask for help. Let me grab another highlighter, an orange one this time, or maybe a deep blue one. So now Peter decides, that's the first occasion. Peter decides to ask for help. He asks the audience. So now this is for the audience, and audience will answer correctly. Audience will answer wrongly. Let me just remove the wrongly thing. Now it says the probability that audience gives the correct answer to any question is 0.95. That's already written over there. And what else is there? This information is shown in the tree diagram below. So that is what you are looking at. So now your eyes should be fixed on this particular thing. So now it takes time to read question. So let me put a sticky note over here. That means read very, very thoroughly. Now I'm just running short of space. So this is read, not to be taken lightly, and read again. Otherwise, what else is there in probability? It's about reading, comprehension, and basic math. Now the first part, what are they asking? In the first part, they are asking, show that we have to prove the probability first question is answered correctly. Of course, you have a question and you answer it correctly, is 0.89, and this is for 1 mark, something very, very basic. So let me focus on that. And before that, let me think about it. Maybe Peter could answer himself correctly. That is 0.7. Or Peter asks for help, and then the audience gives him the correct answer. So therefore, let me write over here, and that's the space I have created for this. So basically, I am focusing, let me just make it a little bit prominent. It could be 0.7 or it could be 0.2 into 0.95. So the answer of part 1 is that the first question is answered correctly, could be done in 2 ways. So this is C for correct and W for wrong, H for help, and this is audience answers correctly, audience answers wrongly. So he can answer by himself, or he asks for help and the audience answers correctly. So this is 0.7, or means add, help is 0.2, use brackets and then multiply it with 0.95, and the answer comes out to be 0.89. So grab your calculator and work it out. And I am also grabbing my calculator. So 0.2 into 0.95, that is 0.19. And this answer is exact. So there is no rounding off. Exact answers need no rounding off. So that's the first one. Let's go back to the question again. Now it says on the second occasion, let me make it thinner, that Peter decides to ask for help, he phones a friend. So over here, The first occasion, he asked the audience, and this is the probability of getting it right. On the second occasion that Peter decides to ask for help, he phones a friend. The probability that his friend gives the correct answer to any question is 0.65. Now comes the real part, which is now they are asking find the probability that the first two questions are both answered correctly. And how many marks do you see? You see 6 marks over here. That means this is some lengthy question. And definitely this tree diagram will be extended. Now let's think of all the possibilities before I actually go to a tree diagram. What if Peter answers the first question correctly and the second question correctly? That means I have to extend the tree diagram. What if the first answer is answered correctly and then he asks for help and the audience helps him, and that is also a scenario. What about he asks for help in the first question, audience answers it correctly, and then Peter answers himself? What if he asks for help twice? First help is from the audience. That's right over here. Second occasion, Peter decides to ask for help. He phones a friend and that friend answers it correctly. So now what I have done over here is that for you people, I have these things sorted out. Actually, it's like a jigsaw puzzle. So now let me put things in the right perspective. So it would look a little bit smaller. The reason being that I need to fit in all of them over here. So first of all, let me write this is for the first question. And Peter answers correctly, Peter answers wrongly, Peter asks for help. And this is when the audience is asking, giving the answer. This is the first occasion for help. That is the thing. Now I need to extend it. So let me choose this thing. And I have copied it and let me paste it over here. Or let me just drag it over here. Okay, that would be good. So now it won't be very symmetrical. So that is the second thing. And let me just erase this thing. That is the second question that he is asking for help. Now, what are the possibilities? Maybe he could be asking the audience. So let me place this thing over here. That is a possibility. And what else is there? That is we need to place this thing also. So now over here, I need some more space. Let me take this thing over here. Let me take this thing over here. And this goes over here. And let me copy this thing. And let me paste it over here. And let me also copy it. I'll just explain it to you in a short while and I'll be changing this thing. So now instead of audience, let me write friend over here. Instead of audience, let me write friend. And this is the second help. This is audience's first help. This is audience's first help. And let me change the number. So now over here, the numbers, let me use a white marker and let me erase it. And yes, it takes time. So I have erased it. And let me write over here, this is 0.65. This is 0.35. Now let's look at all the scenarios. The first question, Peter answers correctly by himself. Second question, Peter answers correctly. So let me focus over here using these dots. That is Peter's answers correctly. Let me use this red marker. Let me thin it out. Peter answers correctly. Peter answers correctly. So the first option is this thing. That is correct, correct. The first question, the second question. So this is 0.7 into 0.7, which is easy math, everyday maths. That is 0.49. What is the second option? The first answer is done correctly. Peter asks for help and that is the help thing. So C is done and then help over here, and then audience answers correctly. So therefore, let me highlight this thing in blue color. That is this thing, that is this thing, that is this thing. So now, yes, this is a very, very technical question. So therefore, this is like this and this and this. So the first question is answered correctly, and then Peter asked for help and then answered correctly. So this is second question, this is first question. This is first, this is second. So this is what? This is 0.7 into. This is 0.2 into 0.95. So let's go over it again. The first is answered correctly, 0.7. Then this is an extension like here. This is 0.2 and this is 0.95. Let's grab a calculator, multiply, and this comes out to be 0.133, and this is exact. There is no rounding off. What is the flip side of this? The flip side is he decides to ask for help. Let me grab this thing, the green marker. He decides to ask for help. The audience answers it correctly. And the second question is answered by Peter himself. So this is for second question. So this is H and A and C. The audience correctly, that is this thing, and then a C. So now this is the first question. This is the second question. This is 0.2 from here into 0.95. That is this thing. So this is 0.2, this is 0.95, this is 0.7. The numbers are the same as the top one, the middle one actually. So this comes out to be 0.133. So far so good. And what is the last one? Peter asked for help both the time. That means, let me choose this purple color. That is over here. So let me choose this purple color over here. Peter decides to ask for help. Audience helps him. Again, Peter decides to ask for help. Friend helps him. So 1, 2, let me do it correctly. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So this is over here, help, correct, help, correct. This is question 1. This is question 2. This is 0.2 into 0.95. That is for question 1. And 0.2 into 0.65. That is question number 2. Multiply it out, a small value, 0.0247. So now I have 4 things over here. Let me also choose one other color. That's the green one. And let me also change this color. That is the red one. Okay. So now this is the scenario. So we have the red one. We have the blue one. We have the green one. And last but not the least, we have the purple one. And if I add it all up, the total, all the possibilities, that comes out to be 0.7807. This is exact. There is no rounding off. Does it say any level of accuracy? Is that defined? I don't think so. So that is the answer for the second part. Have a good look at it. Take a screenshot. Draw it on your register. Turn your register in the landscape mode and then draw it because it requires a lot of space. So now this is the answer. If you want, which should not be the case, we'll just have a look at what the examiner is saying. If they want the answer correct to 3SF, then 0.781 is the answer. But this is exact, so this is all good, all clear. Now we are coming to the last part. The question is written at the top. Given that, so let me just change the color. Given that the first 2 questions were both answered correctly, focus on the word given. Find the probability Peter asked the audience. Now in all these scenarios, there are 3 scenarios in which Peter asked for help. In the second question, he asked for help from the audience. In the first question, he asked for help from the audience. In the last scenario, he asked for help from the audience. He asked for help from the friend. So except for this, Peter is always asking for help. So this is the second part. I think that is the 6-mark thing. And we are on the last part. That is the 2-mark thing, I think. So yes, 3 marks. So 1, 6 and 3. How much is that? 10 marks. 10 marks for one single question. So now, first of all, let me draw a diagram in the sense that we are writing the given thing. That is the condition. So this condition goes down where? It goes down in the denominator. What is the condition? The condition is all four: the red, the blue, the green, the purple. So this is 0.49 plus 0.133 plus 0.133, if I'm not mistaken, 0.0247. 0.0247, 133, 133, and 0.49. Perfect. So now this is the first one. This is the first one. This is the second one. This is the third one. This is the fourth one. So in all three of them, the last three, he is asking for help. So this is the relevant thing that should go up in the numerator. So can I just copy from here and just paste it at the top? So that is the thing that goes at the top. Relevant part out of the denominator goes up. So now the numerator is 0.2907. The denominator is the exact value, 0.7807. When you divide, we get this 0.3724 ... This is not exact. This is for SF rounded off. Therefore, the final answer is 0.372, given correct to 3 significant figures. So now that was one comprehensive question, and these years, 2010, 2011, 2012, they were the most difficult years of S1. And this is one such question that you have seen. Let me just check the answers. The first answer was already given. That is 0.89. The tree diagram, I think it looks a little bit scary. I mean, the way that I have done it by joining these pieces, I mean, that is also, but this is more elaborate. So now this thing, let me highlight this. This is 0.49, the first option, 0.133, second option, 0.133, third option, 0.0247, fourth option. And that is the final answer that we are getting. They have rounded off, but I prefer not rounding off because it is exact. That is the logic. And this is 0.372. So that is how this particular question is done and dusted. So this was about the quiz show question in which Peter was appearing. And that is from my side on Mathematics with Shahab Yaqub. Stay tuned for more content.